The final match of the Lethal Lottery. It's Ron Simmons and Thomas Rich against Steve Armstrong and PN News. Why not put PN News with Ron Simmons and then they're against Thomas Rich and Steve Armstrong and make it quick?
Yes.
And they can just run through them and we can get to the thing. No.
Nope.
No. Tommy Rich, very much, you can see in his eyes that this is the last match he's going to win in WCW. He's with Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons is the big star here.
Yeah.
And so you've got a sense that Tommy Rich is at various points enjoying the match and making them applaud along because he knows it's the last time he'll ever hear an audience be cheering for him. I think it's made me feel a bit sad.
Yeah.
Simmons is really good here. You know, he's just another level. You see why he's a star and these other three guys are just fucking waste.
PN News is kind of like, he's confused. It's a little joke because he's the last one. He's like, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
But then they say, like, Tracy Smothers is still hasn't got dressed. It's like, maybe he'll appear. It's like, right, okay, well, if he does, you've fucked it. And if he doesn't, why are you saying it?
Yeah. They keep on booking things that are better than what happens. And you're like, oh, well, they're setting that. No, it was just a better guess. Yeah. Weirdly, I mean, again, you get to the end of this and you're like, the final match is Tommy Rich versus PN News. You know, what a time. We started off with Jimmy Jam Garvin versus Tracy Smothers, and now look at us. You know, wow. What a night of thrills and spills. I was watching Tommy Rich versus Steve of the Young Pistols in this, and I was thinking, this is so fucking crap. So bad. And then PN News got in with Ron Simmons. And it was amazingly good. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. It was Ron Simmons, who is strong, PN News, who is big, put the two together. It was absolutely spectacular. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. And I found myself thinking I would actually have quite liked to have seen Ron Simmons versus PN News rather than all the stuff that we sat through. Ron Simmons does seem like a trustworthy Scott Steiner. So he's a guy, yes, he can take your head off, but he won't like piss down your neck when he does.
Yes.
He'll go so far. Yes, I will kill you. No, I won't then turn up at the funeral and start tipping over the... Yeah, exactly. That's Scott Steiner's deal. I'm Ron Simmons. I'm a dude. I would never do that to you. But yeah, this match, like all the others, ends. At least you can say it was a match. If I was being JR. And we go through to the Battle Bowl. Very simple, Pete. You dump people from ring 1 into ring 2.
Yes.
Then the final wrestler from each ring will go 1-on-1 to be crowned the Battle Bowl winner.
Yeah. Why needed to go to the second ring to get him in the other ring? It seemed a bit
they're one of the flaws. So I have to throw them out of one ring, but only on one side. So if they go over the top rope, which they do again and again, it's meaningless because I have to get him over the top rope to a specific bit.
Yes. I've got to be on the right side of it.
So when Bill Kazmaier goes over, when we throw him onto the thing and he falls in the gap between the two rings, what happens then? Oh, he goes back in. Right, okay. Then they explain to the commentators that that's not what happens. They say, no, you only have to go to the middle bit. And they were like, okay, so yeah, you do just have to go to the middle bit. Right, Bill Kazmaier shouldn't be in there, right? Number one, I hope the reason this is his last pay-per-view is because he saw what happened and he said, I broke those rules. I must have had them explained to me at some point. And yet I went back into ring 1. I would love it had this come down to Jimmy Garvin and Bill Kazmaier. It would have been amazing. Just what a waste of an evening that would have been. They have the catwalk of them all coming to the ring in this bit as well. And there's one good bit where a cameraman falls over and Ricky Steamboat's walking past. Ricky Steamboat, the ultimate good guy. You know, and Ricky Steamboat doesn't even stop. He just looks round, he peers at him as he does it and carries on. Magic. There's some great bits in this. The colour of the ring. This, for me, is like the classic WCW coloured ring. Always looks dirty even when clean, this ring. Sort of bad bit of design.
It's like when, and it looks kind of otherworldly. It's like when they, I think it was the Spanish Open. Did they call it the Open in tennis? I think they do. The Spanish Open one year. This mad bloke who owned it just decided to make all of the clay blue. And nobody liked it. It was really slippy. And it was never used again.
Ring colours is a funny one because it is that sort of thing about you only really notice when it's wrong.
Yes.
And I slightly did look at this and I did think it looks a bit weird.
Why?
This is one of the worst battle royals you'll ever watch in your life. It really is.
Sort of. I mean, it was always going to be a bit of a mess, but I'd sort of switched off and then I'm back and there's fewer people. It's like, fine.
You missed nothing. You missed nothing. I did feel with this one, this is a rare thing for me to feel, but even in WCW terms, I was like, this is a waste of my time. It was just poor. I mean, the thing about, he's been eliminated from the ring and now we do it all over again is really, really tough, to get through. A couple of bits about it, suddenly you go, oh, that's interesting. So it comes down in the first ring to Luger and Vader. Two men who never had a match in their careers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, interesting. They were in the same places quite a lot of the time. Never happened. I think largely Luger was not interested in certainly going to Japan. He certainly, I don't think, would have wanted to have a match with Vader because he would have got hurt a lot. And I don't think he was into wrestling enough to kind of go, that would be cool. But he does eliminate Vader by doing a clothesline. And he does manage to get Vader almost to the second ring by doing it. It's a really, really astonishing, dragging, grabbing, hoisting clothesline. Really, really impressive. And then, of course, you get Sting, the most popular man on the card by miles. The last four in that second ring are Sting, Rick Rude, Steve Austin, and Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's decent.
It really is. Any combo of those four in an actual match this night would have been fantastic. It would have been great. They're incredible talent, and they've just all been wasted. It's that's really the thing that begins to frustrate you when you watch this Battle Royale bit, is when you see the talent that's there, you just go, why did we just have one night where we threw it like up the wall? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There'll be another night sometime soon. Yeah. This is the one that you've recorded. Didn't record the Christmas night show where Liger beat Brian Pillman, but thank God you've got this memory of Tommy Rich versus fucking Steve from the Young Pistols to watch forever. Some good eliminations, and Rude sets up a program with Ricky Steamboat. He gets eliminated by Steamboat, and then he pulls Steamboat out in anger, and he just runs straight back in and gives Sting the Rude Awakening. It's properly good. Nice sort of, the crowd are massively into it as well. Yeah. Oddly, those guys suddenly have become bigger stars, even than they were, just by this simple bit of going, we are very, very different from the rest of these awful, useless people in the ring. And what this does is it sets up Sting versus WCW champion Lex Luger for the winners of the two rings. And this is as hot a little tangling as you see all night. The two of them just go round the ring. Sting basically leathers Luger. The crowd cannot get enough of it. It is so, so thrilling. And Sting finally eliminates Lex Luger by throwing him over the top rope. Again, even when they were setting this up, they were like, they go one-on-one. Yeah. There was no sense of going and then one of them has to eliminate the other one over the top rope. They seemed to sort of make it up as they were going on. Yeah. But what this was doing, this was setting up the next big pay-per-view, which was going to be Luger versus Sting at Super Brawl 2. A match that was very much needed, certainly by Lex Luger, who no longer wanted to be involved in wrestling. So I think after this, Super Brawl 2 is his last WCW match. Yeah. He spends the rest of it just sitting on his bum. Oh. He will not be working any more Christmas days, Peter. You realise as well with Sting in this point, he is a much, much bigger star here than he was 18 months before when he won the belt. Yeah. The chase for the belt makes him bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think people are like, we just want to see what we can do in a world where Sting is on top, because he is the best star that we have. Tony Schiavone looks at Luger and Sting and he says, the two tops in WCW. And I thought, that is sexual lingo, isn't it?
That really
tops
is,
and bottoms.
Yeah.
So I looked it up on like Urban Dictionary and everything. And he used it absolutely correctly. Two tops would be two men, the men who do the penetrating.
Yeah.
Also could be ladies, depending on the relationship you're in.
Quite rare, I think. I think that's one thing that people say. Tops are rarer than bottoms.
Right. Right. Well, he was absolutely right. They are two tops. They are the tops, the top men there. They are doing the fucking. The last thing about this, just to see us out, is the credits that they leave on, which I'm always pleased. And I was pleased to see, while in Norfolk, Virginia, our TV crew dined at Uncle Louie's. Uncle Louie's shut in 2005, but they do have a Facebook, which is run by Uncle Louie himself, where they mainly announce the death of former employees. Oh, but it's quite a chatty one. You can see inside it. Oh. You can see how the crew ate.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. It just sounds like they got a free meal, so therefore you get a little mention.
Stuck in the back.
That's all it takes.
Partly the reason Uncle Louie's probably went bankrupt in 2005, or certainly shut
decisions.
Down. Former employee Kirk said, I tell people that in my day at Louie's, there were 38 different types of bread on the menu. A sandwich could be on white, rye, marble, or pumpernickel. Burgers had other choices. There were 12 types of bagels. Brunch had its own bread choices, as did certain religious holidays. The menu at Louie's was expansive for the guests and difficult to learn for the servers, but the smart ones memorised the choices and succeeded. Very useful life lesson, that.
Yeah, I can imagine that the wheat intolerance, I'm going to call it a fad. It couldn't have come at a worse time for Louie's.
No, but 38 types of bread is too many.
Too many. I mean, you're just baking all night, aren't you?
Exactly, and you're
only going to make limited amounts of.
Is that better for the customer? What bread do you want? Oh God, just white bread. Do you want pumpernickel? Do you want marble? Do you want, mate? Just fucking give me some bread.
Give me some bread.
My children are hungry.